Coach Speed, after a week's delay, we finally get to see the reigning champions in action. What are your feelings like coming into the season?
Always with apprehension because last year we had some bad examples. Like every time we played in the Champions League and we came back to the Premier League, we lost. But I hope to change that today.
I was just about to ask you about the Champions Cup. Your team has already played 3 games. What is the fitness level like in your squad coming into this game, seeing that you've played so much over the last couple of weeks?
No, well, it's not a lot. I mean, you know, we played 3 games and we're training since about July. So the truth is that we would have liked more games. We hope that the league would have started earlier, so we would have been able to get some more practice games in, some games in. But we are satisfied with what we have.
Well, Coach, you've lost a few key players in your squad coming into the season. Kyle Ming, Gadale Irving, Shanil Thomas, all players that have won titles with you. Do you think that you have 2 titles with your coach? Do you think that you have the players in your squad to supplement what they were providing?
It's a learning process, but it's not anything new for us. We have lost 12 players before and came second. We have lost 6 players like last year. So it's a process that we'll learn to work with. What is more, and we have also lost players to the Marine Cup now with a new rule in place, but we're not perturbed. We're going to be putting up a good show.
Coach, certainly not an easy start to the season for your team, playing the finalists from last season and the season before that in Mount Pleasant and Cavalier. Your opponents today, Cavalier, you expect a really tough game?
Yes, you know, they are the defending champions, but it's always good to play against those teams, so we're looking forward to a quality game today.
And you lost last time out against Mount Pleasant. What did you think you took from that performance, and what can we expect from Portmore tonight?
I think we played that game with our handbrakes on, you know, so today we just have to get them off, and we just want the players to go out there and express themselves.
And speaking of players, your team brought in a lot of new players over the summer, and of course there are a lot of moving parts within the club and with the staff generally. Do you think that these players are taking time to settle, or can we see the best of them sooner rather than later?
Yes, but you know, there's no excuses in football. You just get on along with it. You know, there are good players. You know, football is universal. You know, you just get along. They're all professionals. So whatever way we want to play, you know, they just have to adapt as quick as possible, and we get it going.
All right, so the results so far on this Sunday match week: 2 Malines falling to Vere United 3-1. No goals between Humberland and the Tivoli Gardens, and Racing United 1-0 better than Dunbeholden. That indicates that the game is still alive. The Racing United. So Racing United leading Dunbeholden 1-0. It's supposed to be late in that contest. They'll hope the home team they'll be able to hold on to the lead. Cavalier, Portmore United to come. Mobay United and Harbourview to clash. I've been hearing several things about Mobay United, that they're coming for everything this season. And then 2 games postponed. Mount Pleasant, Waterhouse, that clash set back. And so too Chapelton Maroons FC against Arnett Gardens, who only recently returned from a trip to Trinidad and Tobago, empty-handed from the Twin Island Republic. The teams are getting ready to walk out before this second game. Such a pity that the feature game of the afternoon is going to be played on a surface that has been run roughshod over by 20-plus men earlier. But such is the nature of things. She's finding time to lounge around, feet up at the football, and a spectator to a conversation between 2 gentlemen. There's Jashi, the reggae star. He's swigging Heineken on this Sunday afternoon. In front of him, the infamous Paul, who saw me last week and said, "Boy, they said I had met my demise, but those who wanted to unalive me will have to try again." And he's here. Played some football with Jashi recently at the Duns Field, and he was in good form. And he'll be hoping that the boys for Portmore United and the Cavalier are also in good form to make it worth his while to make the trip here to Sabina Park. It's a kind of balmy evening. It's a hot where we are. Looking at the trees, no leaf moving, so there's no breeze to speak of. The rain has ensured that in some respects we're gonna get cool conditions for this game. And they always say that a football game at this time of day is best. I prefer to play at this time than certainly earlier in the afternoon. There's Romeo Guthrie, the ex-Arnett Gardens captain, now flying the Portmore United flag. And just some pleasantries there between Vino Bartlett, the Cavalier goalkeeper, and some of his colleagues from Portmore United, some of his counterparts from Portmore United. There's Richard King cheekily giving Seagull Knight the ice water treatment early, and he'll be hoping to pour cold water over Portmore United's ambitions in this game. Portmore beaten up by Mount Pleasant, even though it was 2-0. They were played off their own park at Ferdinita, and they'll be hoping for a much improved showing of this Portmore United team. Two-time recent champions Cavalier, 3 times overall, and they are the team of the moment. In many respects, viewers, Cavalier now are what Portmore United were. They're the team that is preparing these youngsters, many of them, and sending them away. Portmore United used to be that club not so long ago. Of course, the granddaddy of that kind of business in Jamaica, Harbourview Football Club. They continue to do that kind of business. Portmore really came into their own and displaced Harbourview from that position as the ultimate feeder club from Jamaica. And now Cavalier have also taken up the baton, and they are running strongest at the moment. So just feel a slight breeze drifting across the venue. I speak of the breeze because it will increase the comfort level for the players, and it will also make us here on commentary feel that much more comfortable calling this game for you. Lish is still with me after doing duties on the first game with Donald Oliver. As I sat as a spectator watching that game, Lish, I don't know how Molynes United lost it, but I certainly know how Veer won it. Veer took their chances, and Molynes is going to be a tale of how did we not score in the second half. That's the question busying the minds of all of those connected with Molynes United as they make the short drive home here from Sabina Park.
Yeah, most definitely. Still working out the rust, I would assume, seeing that it's their first game of the season. First game of the season coming up for the reigning champions as well. Cavalier, 3-time champions, as you mentioned. 2 titles within the last 4 seasons, back-to-back finals against Mount Pleasant. And you mentioned that they've been exporting young players. They have a pretty young squad now, only to get younger as the season progresses as well. And this Portmore United team, new management, new coaching staff, the most successful team in the history of the Jamaica Premier League. They'll be looking to rebound from losing to last year's beaten finalist Mount Pleasant, and looking to make a statement on match week 2 against Cavalier, a team looking to redo what they did so well last season and win a title again.
Yep, all female cast in charge of this clash today. Going to give you the names shortly just to confirm the women who will be running this game. But Cavalier have been busy in the CONCACAF club competition.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask,
and as is customary for a second game of a doubleheader, the stadium announcer asks for the attention of all as the national anthem plays. Yeah, national anthem out of the way, and now the pleasantries between the players officially, because they were speaking to each other as they lined up to take the field. But this is the official part as we draw ever closer to kickoff. A question to occupy your mind as we get closer to kickoff, Lish. As we're looking at 2 of the teams that have made the export of players their raison d'etre, their reason for being. Which player who would have come from a Premier League club and played in the Premier League and then went overseas has been the most successful? It's not a question you have to answer right now. You can just think about it. So Narissa Golson is the fourth official. Odette Hamilton has the whistle. Josette Carr-Wilson and Marjorie Gale, the ladies on the touchlines who will be directing things from the sidelines with the flag. The two assistant referees, King and Knight, respective captains. Knight in the blue and King with the number 5 on his back. Do you have an early answer?
Yeah, a couple names spring to mind immediately. I think we'll go through this Cavalier lineup first, and then I'll get back to it.
Please. All right, so Cavalier have in goal Vina Bartlett, Richard King, Giovanni Leng, mainstays of this team, Jerome McCleary, Quayne Thompson, Shamara Watson, Kyle Ovray, Jaheim Fraser, Adrian Reed, Shaquille Stein, and Jalmaro Calvin, number 7 for Rudolph Speed.
Yeah, this Cavalier team, a lot of familiar names, but a couple of transfers in as well. Kylie Ovray from Trinidad and Tobago, transferred from Mount Pleasant. He'll be looking to make an instant impact and make the defeated finalists from last season regret that decision.
Yeah, Portmore United, meanwhile, have Daniel Russell in goal, Emilia Rousseau, Stephen Young, Alvinus Myers, shorn of his locks, Clayton Peck, Akeem Mullings, Siegel Knight, the skipper, Ramon Howell, the ex-Waterhouse captain, Stephen Barnett, Romeo Guthrie, the ex-Arnott Gardens captain, and Tariq Zimenez for coach Rudolph Austin, the former Reggae Boys captain.
Yeah, many new faces for this Portmore United team, a lot of quality added. Tariq Zimenez, an obvious standout, was a standout in schoolboy football, and he has returned.
Benjamin Williams, the goalkeeper who's not starting, leading the pre-match prayers and getting the adrenaline pumping for Portmore United, who would want to move on from the defeat. I was over there with them about 2 weeks before the start of the season, just going through some media engagement tips. Very good bunch of boys, the Portmore United team. In the Portmore United team, Davion Ferguson was the head coach at that time. By the time I drove back to Kingston, he was not the head coach anymore, moving over to Mount Pleasant. But such is the nature of the game that we are a part of. So Odette Hamilton sends us on our way for this, the second of the doubleheader here at Sabina Park. 4 goals in the first game. Vere Phoenix United, to give them their official title, getting the better of Malines United. All right, so my producer says Vere Phoenix, yet to be registered with the league, so he says just work with Vere for now. All right, less things to say.
Yeah, George, to answer your earlier question.
I'm keen for you to answer the question.
And I have a feeling why you would ask the question, seeing the 2 coaches of these teams today. But firstly comes to mind, obviously, being a young man, being born in 1998, after...
Don't put an excuse in, Lish.
I have to make mention immediately of someone like Ricardo Fuller,
okay,
who I would have seen in the Premier League. Emilia Rousseau,
yeah, first interception by Rousseau, stopping the advance of Quayne Thompson.
Yeah, Ricardo Fuller comes to mind.
There's Rudolph Speed, technical director of Cavalier, and the man who really has transformed this club. Absolutely fantastic job he's done over the years to make them into contenders, then 2-time champions, and a conveyor belt for young talent looking to advance your footballing career outside Jamaica's shores. Yes, and your second candidate?
I would say Ricardo Bibi Gardner. He was a direct export, as you were mentioning, from Harbour View after the 1998 World Cup, so he comes to mind as well. But a name that many people wouldn't want to be left off that list would be the head coach for Portmore United, Mr. Rudolph Austin.
Yes.
Who had a pretty successful career in Europe, especially in England with Leeds United.
Yes.
And this man on the ball right here is looking to probably be one of those next exports. Adrian Reed Jr. Adrian Reed Sr., of course, played for the Reggae Boys as well.
Yes.
So, much talent exported already. We're looking forward to even more.
Yeah, and that's really the point of the question, to show that for those looking on, wanting to feel like we're just here passing time with this Premier League, there have been several big opportunities staked in this game, in this league. There he is, Rudolph Austin, as Lish mentioned, a proud export, someone who played, if you say the English Premier League is the best club competition domestically, then he played at the very top level, played in the Championship for Leeds, starred there, and You go to Ellen Road and you mention the name Rudolph Austin, there were many people who said, yeah, we remember him. He did well for our club at the Yorkshire side. Guthrie trying to find Zimenez, frustrated that the ball wasn't more precise. King hit and hope, and off the striker's shoulder. Didn't really know where he was, because I think he was bracing for the impact of the goalkeeper as well. So he stopped watching the flight of the ball, tried to bunch the neck muscles to brace for impact, and the ball ended up hitting him anyway. The two Ricardos, though, are outstanding because they were Premier League stars. They didn't just play in the English Premier League. And of course, Gardner was, there were a couple of seasons Gardner would have been in the top 2 or 3 wide defenders in the English Premier League. I remember there was a time when they said that Sir Alex Ferguson was looking at him for Manchester United, and of course after that the injury bug bit. But for Bolton Wanderers, he was magnificent. Season in, season out, Ricardo Gardner. And on the attacking front, the other Ricardo Fuller. But the difference is, if you look at the number of games they played, Gardner, I'd like to do the research to see how many games Gardner played for Premier League, in the Premier League for Harbourview, if any. But for certain, Ricardo Fuller was ever present for Tivoli Gardens as Portmore attack. Cross whipped in, hit and hope more than anything else. And Alvin Osmaris can't keep it in. Zimenez really put a lot of meat behind that. There he is, Tariq.
Seems as if Zimenez will be sharing in a partnership, a strike partnership with Stephen Barnett.
Robbed off the ball. Here comes Cavalier. Oh, see what he was trying to do. The idea was good, but the execution let him down. And running through there, you'd have expected better from Jalmaro Calvin. The fact that he was under no pressure, you would have expected that shot to have been executed better. But Rousseau, holding the ball too long, poked away from him. Calvin saw the goalkeeper off his line. Yeah, like a golfer who chose the wrong iron for the shot. He really went for the wrong shot, which he didn't even get right.
Yeah, Cavaliers' top goal scorer last season, Jalmaro Calvin. One of Cavaliers' international players, the Antiguan. Stephen Young venturing forward, but that was a wayward pass.
Yeah, and already I can see Zimenez cross with his teammates for the wayward nature of the passing. Ball sprayed out wide. Fraser, momentarily. And Calvin couldn't connect with him efficiently. This is Leng. Goes route 1, and it's route goal kick for Portmore United from that effort from Gio Leng. Versatile player Gio Leng across the back. And I've never seen any attacker really destroy him. Not just a defender with good physical attributes, Giovanni Leng, but also quite intelligent in how he approaches. And the true mark of the intelligence of a defender, he knows when to foul. And if he has to take one for the team, it's a decisive decision. That wasn't a decisive pass. Calvin took it up. And they go wide again, Cavalier. The ball played to Reed. Low cross, and Rousseau read the intention from yesterday and was just waiting to effect the block, which he did. It's the first corner of the game.
Yeah, not for the first time Portmore United losing possession, and not for the first time Cavalier quick to exploit those spaces in behind that. I noticed immediately that Portmore are utilizing their fullbacks pretty wide, stretching that defense, and that's leaving space in the half spaces for Cavalier to attack, and that's bread and butter, and has been bread and butter for this Cavalier team for the past couple of seasons. Something for Rudolph Austin and his team to ponder.
Over his corner. Oh, keeper came and missed and cleared off the line by Howell. Quick corner once again, the heads go up. Portmore got there first, and then the clearance completed by Howell once again. Russell came in. It was a fresh air punch from the Portmore United goalkeeper, and luckily Ramon Howell on the line to block what was a certain goal, but for his intervention.
Yeah, dangerous in multiple facets of the game. Cavalier, experts in efficiency, if you were to ask. Root of speed.
Myers, Zimenez, what does he do now? Turn 240 degrees. Myers whips that one in. Again, hit and hope more than anything else. And amazing that from this attacking position, Alvinus Myers hit the ball out for a throw. This is Auvray. Look at the goalkeeper. Only Air and Howell. Yeah, Portmore dodging a bullet there.
Yeah, a lot of indecision around the back there for that corner kick from Portmore United.
Knight in the midfield, the Portmore captain. He needs to impose his presence there because Portmore's leaders have been loose in the engine room so far. Here they come through Howell. Guthrie. Nice. From the ex-Arnett Gardens man back to Knight. The instruction is for the Cavalier defenders to send him back, and that's what they've done. They're going to play keep ball now, Portmore.
Pretty staggered approach from Portmore United, although they are playing nominally in a 4-3-3. Alvinus Myers, the right-hand side defender, pushing really high and wide, holding the width on that right-hand side, while Akeem Mullings on the other side, creating like a pseudo back three. A lot of space to attack, therefore, for Cavalier down this left-hand side.
Stephen Young all the way back to goalkeeper Russell. Goes to Rousseau. Zimenez trying to build up a head of steam. They start over, Portmore United. Myers stuck on this near touchline, making the pitch as big as possible. Lens pass forward to Calvin, but he couldn't keep it. The 2 sevens clashing, and the Portmore 7 winning the captain, Siegel Knight, knocking it out for a throw.
Portmore holding possession pretty well deep, but once they get into what would be Cavalier's defensive third, pressure often tells. Cavalier usually win it back pretty easily.
So despite, as we told you at the top of the broadcast, that Cavalier are playing their first game of the season, make no mistake, they're a sharp team because they've been busy at a high level in the CONCACAF Club Championship. And but for a clashing engagement in that competition, they would have already had their first game of this Ray Neville Premier League season 24-25. Zimenez finding Myers. Nope, not with that. And he gets polite applause from the Portmore United bench. Speaking of bench, there's Doxley, Melvin near side. The man in the red shirt at the end is Kevin Joyce there, Clarendon College hero back in the day and Portmore United star for many a season in the Premier League, now a part of their coaching staff. And Police FC from TNT, a contingent from their squad. They have some duties in the CONCACAF Club Championship in these parts, and they're taking a close look at the action here. The pace of the game not uniform just yet. Cavalier have been doing a lot of running, but it's not a quick game by any means. as Ling marks out this free kick. Every Cavalier player bar the goalkeeper is in the Portmore half. Flick forward and skimming off the forehead. Not great connection. And ultimately harmless in the end.
It was always going to be difficult to generate enough power from that header. As you see the Cavalier bench. A lot of youth. A lot of pace as well. Chad James, also formerly of Mount Pleasant, with the curly-haired hairdo. Saw Dwayne Atkinson at the front of the queue as well. That's not a face that Portmore would want to see come on in the second half.
Oh, Zimenez gives away a corner. Has he? No. Rousseau tracks it. Knight. Zimenez again, his touch loose. Not been a good first 13 plus minutes for the youngster. As Cavalier raid. And good defending once again. Good tracking at left back from Mullings for Portmore.
Once again, a chip ball through that right-hand half space from Cavalier.
They're targeting that side for Portmore United, eh?
Yeah, when Portmore are building up, as I said, Mullings is staying and creating that back three, but he's staying too wide.
Aubrey once again. Goes near post this time. That's a good header. Portmore got the block in. Cavalier looked dangerous from set pieces so far. This is King. Needs a good cross. It's measured onto the head of Alvinus Myers of Portmore. Rousseau's header. Trying to clear it as far. Well, he has cleared it. And it's broken down. It's a throw. Portmore wanted to transition quickly through Pick. Shortest man on the pitch, Aubrey. His set piece deliveries so far have been good. Russell, bad communication with Stephen Young, who wanted him to play the simple pass first time. Gives away a throw in an advanced position. Cavalier just ever so slightly ratcheting up the pressure. Myers gets there first. Clearance complete by Howell. Ling has all day to decide what to do with this. Well run by Mullings for Portmore. Zimenez knocked off the ball by Ling, unfairly so, says referee Hamilton. Howell now for Portmore. Switch. Again, the instruction from Cavaliers to send him back. Howell. Can't get the return pass. And here come Cavalier. Again, they're targeting that left side of the Portmore United defense. Mullings got the bump, so he was slipping and sliding. Referee Hamilton saying he was fouled. Seagull Knight. Barnett comes short to get a rear touch. Howell. Young. There's a man creeping around the backside for Portmore. The switch was on, but never attempted by Young. But they stay near side. Myers. Guthrie. Knight. Portmore taking a lot of touches. Guthrie now. Howell. Young. They have no qualms going back to their goalkeeper, Russell.
Cavalier typically comfortable with letting teams have possession in these areas.
Myers will need help from this point. Good first take. Back to Howell. Knight. Guthrie. Good football by Portmore to this point. Back to Guthrie. Knight. Myers. Zimenez wants it. Still Myers. Howell. Howell. Can't beat Ovray, who steals it. Looking for assistance. Lovely ball down this near side. And excellent defending by Emilio Rousseau. The bigger body there, just easing the youngster off it. Quayne Thompson. Barnett on the sprint. King shields. And Barkley came. So for the first time this afternoon, the Portmore midfield looking as if it really is on the park. Guthrie linking up with Howell and Knight. Myers brought into it as well. Guthrie. Guthrie goes for goal. Bartlett well positioned, and because of his positioning, the save looks easy.
Yeah, comfortable in the end, but as you mentioned, much more connectivity within the Portmore midfield, a lot more movement as well.
The Wi-Fi is working, yeah.
Leading to more uncomfortable situations for Cavalier, not knowing who to pick up, when to step up as well.
Ovray. Guthrie now. Barnett gives him the run. This is Zimenez. Zimenez through. Can he get a shot? Oh yes! Tariq Zimenez. It's a goal that has been coming from Portmore United. It all started with Ovray unable to control the ball in the Portmore half. The ball turned over, and in about 2 or 3 passes, Portmore were going forward, sprinting forward. The ball through to Zimenez wasn't the best, but he's quick. This is the pass. Ovray didn't take it. Knight, one pass. Guthrie, one touch, slips Zimenez through. And yeah, good finish, 1-0.
Yeah, it was good transitional play by Portmore United. Immediately after winning the ball back, our dear friend Dwight Jeremiah always says within 2 or 3 passes, you should be in on goal on the offensive transition. And that's exactly what Portmore United executed, and they have the pace to burn in behind, especially that man, Tariq Zimenez. And he had the finish as well. Expertly done, actually, right into the corner of the net. And even though I think Vina Bartlett was a bit stuck on his line, didn't make himself big enough, eventually when the finish came, he was in a position where Bartlett could definitely not get a hand to it.
Yeah, he came to cut the angle, but didn't cut the angle well at all. And the right side of the goal was gaping. And Zimenez found it with a very good strike. So 1-0 Portmore United. Moments after we'd said that they had come into the game, their midfield was connecting. Interplay among the big names. As Rousseau trying to execute an emergency clearance. It's sent further by Alvinus Myers. I know Cavalier, will they change their approach or will they continue with how they started the game?
Cavalier are a team that are pretty well versed in playing from the front. Did see them at times last season struggle to come from behind.
Leng's cross. Rousseau getting in the way. He's made some crucial blocks so far, Emilio Rousseau. And another one there. Leng once again went low with the cross this time, and it was blocked by Ramon Howell. There's Rudolph. I was just about to ask for a shot of Rudolph's speed. And the 2 Rudolphs, well, one Rudolph, one Rodolph, same name. And the ex-Reggae Boy captain is the man whose side is in front. Barnett very ambitious. I can tell you he was trying to score from there. Spotted Vino Bartlett about 10 yards outside his 18-yard box. Would have needed the strength of an NFL kicker to beat the goalkeeper from there. Would that count as a shot? Off target nonetheless, but would that count as a shot? It should. It was a shot on goal.
It was, but considering how far away it was, I'm sure even Stephen Barnett would like to say that it was a pass instead.
Here they come, trying to switch the play. Cavalier and the pass too big. All right, so Cavalier perhaps in regroup mode right now. And Portmore United need to ensure that Howell, Guthrie, Knight, that those three connect. And then at the end of that, they find Ziminis or Barnett. I may have done Romeo Guthrie some disservice there on the goal dish because I said the pass wasn't all that great. It was such a good pass that the defender, flailing, couldn't intercept it. It was so perfect. It was Quayne Thompson was trying to get back to intercept. So yes, Guthrie, I'll give you the purity of assist. I'm not taking anything away from the quality of the pass. It was a good pass, the right pass, released at the right time.
Yeah, part of a pretty brand new Portmore United midfield. Both him and Ramon Howell spent last season at Mount Pleasant. Ramon Howell, obviously, formerly of Waterhouse, as Cavalier spear one in. Cleared initially. Shot still on, and it's a big block coming in from Stephen Young, who eventually tries to clear. That's McCleary, and Cavalier recycle the possession now.
Leng wants to go direct again, Leng. Stevie Young wins that header. Well, Mullings won that header. This is Ovray going the wrong way, but he makes the semicircle turn, full circle. Mullings, oh, that's a goal! That's an equalizer! Cavalier kept the pressure, it was incessant. And the ball kept finding a white shirt. Kept finding a white shirt. And then a white shirt found a shot. Shot found the back of the net. Jalmara Calvin, one up and running for the season. Cavaliers leading scorer from last season. Getting it going in this new year, new season of the Ray Navy Premier League.
And it was a very instinctive finish as well. Popped up and on the volley, that's hit true. And I can't think of a keeper that wouldn't even struggle with this one. It was hit so well by Jalmara Calvin. And you can see the type of instinctive finishing that led him to be the top goal scorer for Cavalier in a championship winning campaign.
Yep. When they watch this on replay, though, the Portmore United team will ask Mullings, why was your challenge so weak? A man who is your equal in build, and he just shrugged you off when you went for that defensive header. And then the ball fell, and Calvin, as Liz says, instinctively spinning, and wham! 1-1. Here's Ovray.
I guess we can see why Cavalier have been targeting the side of Mullings. Probably see him as a bit loose in the duel.
Yes, sir.
And that's what played out for the Cavalier equalizer.
Yep. That needed to have been a robust challenge. But you missed the header, then you got shrugged off the ball, and suddenly you weren't in a position to have an influence on that ball which fell in your 18-yard box. This game is about a lot of tactics, but oftentimes it's about duels, and Mullings lost that duel just now. And we're not singling him out for criticism, we're just saying that what happened, we're just saying exactly how it happened, and that's how it happened. Wayne Thompson. Ball loose for a moment. Barnett. Forward to Jimenez. King shrugs him off. Did that with some style, Richard King. Aubrey on the sprint. Stephen Young trying to go with him. Aubrey. And it's a goal kick. Right call by the referee. There's J.D. White. You can call him a vet. Is he 30 years old yet? J.D. White.
I wouldn't think so.
I've known him as a footballer for about 20 years now. Anyway, Alvin Osmar is going forward for Portmore United. Stephen Barnett gives him the run, but the pass wouldn't come. And Stephen Young with the headed clearance there for Portmore United. A player rated highly by Dwight Jeremiah from the moment he came into this league, Stephen Young. And now an established player here as Calvin Rousseau wins possession. Had to. And that's how you win a duel. Emilio Rousseau getting the better of John Maro Calvin there. Aubrey trying to burst forward, but Seagull Knight halts his progress. Rousseau just clearing his lines and giving his chance a team to refresh in their defensive formation. Really didn't have a forward pass to make there. Aubrey got there first. It's still alive. Good interception. Here comes Guthrie. Nothing much going forward. Here's Barnett. Jimenez gives him the run. Jimenez, can see what he was trying to do. Trying to trap and burst forward at the same time with one touch, but the touch was too heavy.
Yeah, not so smooth on the transition as they previously were at Portmore United.
You can download the SportsMax app. Not even you can, you should. It's a command. Download the SportsMax app today. Google Play Store or the App Store. And say hello to a world of content. Russell goes down for Portmore, giving the coaches time to get some refreshments to the players and get some tactical instructions in. All right, so is 1-1 fair, Leisure, at this point of the game?
I think generally on the balance of play, I think Cavalier have been a bit better, have executed a bit better in terms of their execution of what they try to do attacking-wise, attacking in the half spaces. They've penned in Portmore United as well, a bit more than Portmore United have done to themselves, but I think this Portmore United team have done pretty well in terms of getting forward. They've done pretty well on the transition, and they've had their bouts of enterprising attacking play as well. So I think you can say it's relatively even, but I still give Cavalier the edge a bit.
Yes, it is true that Cavalier have, you can see that they have expressed themselves in this football game so far the way they planned it to. For Portmore, it's been a bit more bits and pieces. But my, the build-up, the phase of play before their goal suggested that Portmore had found their best stride for the first time this evening. And the goal also was a sweet move. The transition was nice. Certainty of pass, equally as important as weight of pass, is the timing of the pass, the quality of the run. So I don't think Austin will be too unhappy with where things are. Although again, you'll say, well, the goal was soft in terms of the defending. Mullings. And it's something new that I see creeping into the game these days, Liz, where the goalkeepers aren't afraid to take tactical breaks to just go down and seek treatment for whatever they decide to seek treatment for, knowing that the referee will, he can't start the game without them. And I'm sure the lawmakers and those who control the referees' bodies will be asking for a crackdown, because it doesn't do the game any good, they'll say. People don't pay to come and watch the goalkeeper go down to give his team a chance to tactically refresh. Myers being pushed off it by Guthrie, who wants to take charge of this build-up, and King read him like a book, read the pass. Calvin dribbles away from Russo, doesn't have much help though, Calvin, but still attacking the space. Mullins tracking him, and Mullins got a piece, a deflection, which helped his team to defend. And now Guthrie has creating to do from deep. Cavalier down to 10 men. There's a man right in front of our commentary point getting some treatment. Looks to be in some agony. His left foot is the problem. And a lot of magic spray is being applied to it. But these Cavalier boys are all young. They look good to go in short. Here's Tariq Ziminis trying to work the shooting angle, but just couldn't drag the ball with him. And a promising position, promising situation peters out. Aubrey trying to find Steen there, but the pass too long. So those booming passes, he booms it in the direction of Myers, who doesn't have much help.
Has been pretty isolated on that right-hand side.
Yeah, you know how many times I've said Myers in possession, but he needs help.
Yeah, I think if they are going to use him to spread the field and create that width for them, I think they need a player that's consistently in that right-hand half space, and on his side it would be Romeo Guthrie. But being a midfielder, his natural instinct is also to drop deep and get more touches on the ball. So
yes,
oftentimes that leaves Alvinus Myers isolated and with a lot of ground to cover as well for his defensive roles in the game.
Another look at the Cavalier bench. Good catch by Russell. Back to live action. Myers in his natural position now. Rudolph Austin hasn't taken a seat, and I don't think he'll be able to continue. Really hard challenge he took Jerome McCleary. It's actually the right knee that's the problem. And the physio coming again to give him some treatment. It may have been the shin. It was he who went in on the tackle. But when he went to ground, and you could hear it from here. Watch the replay here. So this is, he's gonna go in trying to save it, and yeah, Myers, I don't think Myers was trying to injure him, but he whipped Myers' studs. Look at that. Yeah, I feel that for you, young man. I feel that for you, I can tell you. And I think his race is run. Hopping off the field, hobbling off, and yeah, the substitution is made. So 27 is out. Jerome McCleary, his evening cut short by a contact injury, and Damani Miller comes on, number 18, to take his place. Well, actually number 13, beg your pardon. Number 13 is Dwayne Allen. Meanwhile, Ziminis runs forward again. Ziminis! Oh, he can't find the goal this time. The chest of Vino Bartlett. Too big an obstacle. The Cavalier players are appealing for offside. It's a flag that never came. Ziminis himself was looking around almost as if he thought he had gone too early. But the chance passed up by the Portmore United man.
And you can see why we mentioned the fact that Vina Bartlett didn't come out quick enough for Ziminis' earlier goal, because when he came out there, he made the finish so much more difficult. for Tariq Zimenez. Ended up trying to go for a cheeky little lob. But Bartlett big enough, firm enough to deny him.
Yep. The Brazilian Ronaldo always tells you that in those positions, the best thing to do is to try to go between the keeper's legs. And he scored many, many goals that way. Zimenez, King, makes everything look so easy, Richard King. This is Ovre. I'm going to speak in stereotypes now. Low center of gravity for Ovre. Anyway, ball is turned over. Myers, looking for passing options, buys himself some time. Knight. Myers. Guthrie. Oh, he gives it away. Nice. Eagle Knight wasn't looking. And here comes Stain. The back heel into the path of Calvin. Calvin trying to find Stain with an ambitious pass. Again, they say play what you see, not what you want. He wanted that run. The run wasn't there. He still played the pass there. Anyway, so this is the pass from Guthrie. Offside being appealed for by King. Look at Zimenez, indecisive, and then Bartlett now puts his imposing frame in the way and effects the block with his chest. Good goalkeeping.
Yeah, very good goalkeeping. There's no angle for Zimenez to shoot across the goal anymore. Usually in those situations, especially the modern coaches often tell their strikers or wingers from those situations to shoot as high as possible into the roof of the net.
Interesting, I spoke about playing it through the keeper's legs. If you look at what Bartlett did with his left leg, he bent it at an angle, also anticipating that that could have been a place that Zimenez would have gone with the shot. So even if he had gone there, he wouldn't have been successful. Meanwhile, Calvin on the prowl. Oh, slide tackle by Stephen Young. Expertly, effectively gives away a throw. But Portmore won't complain. Look at this. Young going in with the left foot. Yeah, well timed. Ball first, man then. It's a corner actually that Ovre will take. His deliveries have been on point so far in this game. Almost on the top of the 6-yard box. Here's Ovre once again. Headed away by Mullings this time. Zimenez has to hold it up, can't. Myers though, into space. Zimenez on the sprint. Tracking him all the way was Shamar Watson. Look at the finish once again, Liz, what I mean. Bartlett, look at what Bartlett does with the left leg. Look at the left leg. There you go. Narrowing that space.
Covered all his bases there.
Two arms spread wide apart, chin upright, leg bent to prevent the through the leg shot. Yeah, very good goalkeeping.
And it must be said, even though Richard King has conceded a goal, or been a part of a defense that has conceded a goal, I think he's probably been the best player on the pitch. So calm, in and out of possession, often intercepting a pass, and then in one sweet motion playing a pass that probably only he could see at that possible time. So, I mean, I guess he is a national player for a reason.
Yes, commanding at the back. Although, speed will tell him, Richard, you let Zimenez through and your goalkeeper bailed you out. Was appealing for offside and not quite closing down the gap. Well, if Zimenez runs off your shoulder, he's gone. So, not going to blame King for not catching back up to Tariq Zimenez. But yeah, apart from that one moment, he's been commanding in what he has done so far this game. 43rd minute. Mullings doing good on the defensive end there. And this is Peck for Portmore. Guthrie to Barnett. Doesn't have a forward pass, so he comes back to Myers. Myers will have to swing it to the other side of the 18-yard box. Asks Knight to do so instead. Guthrie. Oh, given away. And now Calvin goes on the sprint for Cavalier. Russell read the danger well, so he played sweeper-keeper there to good effect. Studying tapes of Manuel Neuer, I see. Two coaches pacing their technical areas. Howell for Portmore. Knight. Peck. A switched flanks, Clayton Peck.
He too was cutting an isolated figure on that left-hand side, Clayton Peck. Zimenez has taken his spot for the time being. Pretty interesting career arc for Zimenez so far. Not only with the clubs that he has been to, but positionally as well. Spent some time in Belgium most recently, in Bruges. But positionally, we initially saw Zimenez as a flying wingback at Jamaica College in urban area schoolboy football. Left, came back, was a flying winger. Spent some time in the center as well, and that's where he's ended up. Zimenez.
So what Lish is saying is a Damascene transformation. Whole Saul becoming Paul thing on the road to Damascus. Zimenez changing. Here's Howell. Myers on the run. Guthrie with Howell. Oh, that was a good interchange. Excellent interception though, where the defender went and made Howell's shot difficult. Thought he got a piece of it, but he didn't. But his pressure was enough to cause Howell to miss kick. And look at the link up here. Look at the little nod down from Guthrie. And the tackle putting off Ramon Howell. And he dragged the shot wide. 2 more minutes to be tacked on at the end of the first 45. The fourth officials board going up just below us. And Cavalier come again. Pass big, too big. And the substitute, Dwayne Allen, couldn't get there. This run about the moment where Trossard lost his head for Lige's Arsenal earlier today in the Premier League. Kicking the ball away after the whistle at every age group in every kind of football, that's a card. And Lige will defend it in 3, 2, 1.
I guess it wasn't a card when Jeremy Doku did it in the same game, but we're watching Rennes Jamaica
There
Premier
you
League,
go.
so it's fine, it's fine. It's been hours, I'm over it.
Here's
I'm
Russell to Stevie Young. Barnett comes short. Zimenez. And frustration, howls of frustration from the Portmore players about the quality of the passing just now and the cheap surrender of possession. Catch another look at youthful bench. Something I'm loving to see. Most Premier League teams, you look at their bench, young men with every hope of being everything great and good in this glorious game. And older men like Kevin Deere trying to polish their future and send them away to better. And referee Hamilton has seen enough of the first half. Portmore United went ahead through Tariq Zimenez, pegged back by a strike by Jalmaro Calvin. And the analyst says Cavalier have made more of the running in the first half, but Portmore won't mind. They go to the break level in this clash. And both Rudolphs will have words with their teams about aspects of the play that can go so much better. There's Austin in the cap speaking with his assistant, Kevin Deere. No doubt about what they can fix for the second 45 minutes. Halftime here at Sabina Park, Ray and Nephew, match week 2. Portmore United 1, Cavalier 1. Right back with us at Sabina Park for second half action. Meanwhile, La Liga continues on your home of champions. SportsMax 2 has Real Betis versus Mallorca. Monday, 10 a.m., 11 a.m. ECT. Then the team from Seville, well, one of the two teams, Sevilla, are at home to Valladolid. Midday, Tuesday, 1 p.m. ECT, live game. Then Valencia, they play Osasuna Tuesday, midday, 1 p.m. ECT, SportsMax Plus, another live game for you. And Deportivo Alaves make the journey to the Bernabeu to play Real Madrid Tuesday, 2 p.m., 3 p.m. ECT, SportsMax 2, another live game for your enjoyment. Sabina Park is where we're at for this Ray and Neville Premier League, Jamaica Premier League fixture. Season 24-25, Cavalier, the team in white, they are the defending champions. Portmore are the record competition winners in Jamaica. 7 Premier League titles to their name under Portmore United and formerly Hazard United. They are the most successful team in local football, and the Cavalier, the new power. And we resume second half action with the scores locked at 1-1. First 5 minutes is when you look at the, well, first 3 minutes really, look at the discernible patterns to see how those match the patterns weaved in the first half, and then you can tell definitively if either team is taking a different approach to the game than they carried over the first 45 minutes. King's first pass for the half is a poor one, misdirected. Guthrie on the prowl for Portmore, needs some help. Myers gives him the overlapping run, but they have Guthrie going in the right direction, which is backwards. Good defending from Cavalier.
Interesting to see if Portmore United, as you would have mentioned several times in the first half, George, if they can get their midfield a bit more involved. And also this man on the ball, as he commits a foul, actually, Alvinus Myers.
Yeah, it has to be a yellow card, Lejan. Don't forget the point you're making, because I want to hear you on that. He reached in, didn't take the ball cleanly. So he was trying to retrieve, and he reached in, studs up on the forward for Cavalier, Shaquille Stein. And this is him. Yeah, that's a foul, that's a yellow card every day of the week.
Yeah, and not the first time in the game he's made one of those challenges either. Jerome McCleary was on the end of one of those, had to make his exit, so has to be much more careful now, Alvinus Myers.
Yep.
Kylie Aubrey, Trinidad and Tobago international, to whip this one in.
Russell catches very high. Good claim, good confident catch from the goalkeeper under pressure. Myers can't find Guthrie. Aubrey on the run. Gets away from his marker. Can he find a good cross? Aubrey. Oh, Rousseau again read his intention very carefully. Unhurried Rousseau. Knew that there wasn't much space to his right for the cross to be squeezed, so gambled that it was going to go to his left, and to his left it came. And easy, turning it behind and allows his defenders to reset for the score. That Aubrey whips in. It's met by Myers' header. Pick to Barnett. Mullings now for Portmore. Midfield to Siegel Knight. Barnett.
Another loose pass from Portmore to start the second half, but I was mentioning how much I would like to see the Portmore United midfield get involved. Guthrie, Ramon Howell. It's a good press again, but Cavalier quick to defend. And this man, Siegel Knight, as well. They always say the hallmark of a good midfield is how they can operate together and how close they can play together without stepping on each other's toes. That's something that Portmore would like or would need to do to get the better of this Cavalier team, or just continue to execute their counter press as well as they did on occasion in that first half. That's how they got their goal through Tariq Zimenez. A couple other chances as well, which Zimini spurned.
I simply acknowledge what you said by using a patented SportsMax phrase. They'd say, correct is right at the office, and what you've just said, correct? Yeah, he's right. Miscommunication there between Peck and Barnett. And they're lucky to win a throw high up Portmore United. Barnett wants it early, and frustrated that Peck didn't give it to him early. Ziminis goes short. Peck. Knight. Howell. Myers in space to his right. Guthrie. Young. Myers. Guthrie. It's broken up, and Cavalier on the transition. Good foul in the midfield by Ramon Howell. Stein's forward foray brought to an end prematurely as Rodolphe Austin takes a seat for the first time this evening during gameplay. Ileng. Ziminis barges him off the ball. Fairly so, says referee Hamilton.
That's not something we see often either. Someone barging Giovanni Ileng off the ball.
Good ball by Peck to Barnett. Doesn't have much going forward though. And trying to play to the path of Peck, and Bartlett saved with his feet. Didn't look like much was on there. I was about to criticize Barnett for the quality of the pass, but it worked. And Peck was in, and for a moment, you felt as if he was going to stab it away from Bartlett and into the empty net.
I think we can chalk that down to more indecision. I think this one was more so communication, or maybe he wasn't even sure how quick Clayton Peck was.
Yep. Nice back heel to find. This is Aubrey. Aubrey shot! Looked threatening from this angle. Reaction from the players on the field suggests it wasn't that threatening.
Yeah, on his weaker left side, Kylie Aubrey had his moments in that first half. His coach looking a bit disappointed.
Calvin's back heel, nice.
Jaheim Fraser who laid it off, and actually at this end, that Cavalier attacking Jaheim Fraser scored a magnificent opener in the Manning Cup final 2 seasons ago for Jamaica College. As Aubrey wins a free kick, Emilio Rousseau, the guilty party, handling that one. It's going to be Aubrey himself to take control of this one. Has had some good deliveries. Went for a cheeky pass to an overlapping Fraser again.
I tell you what, he took forever to get there. Running from last week and still couldn't be in position to get the ball. As King. Cavalier maintained the pressure. And the ball goes to the back post, and too long. Overshoots everybody. Offers the hand of apology. Another look at the youthful Cavalier bench.
I'm always quick to point out Chad James, not only because of his distinctive hairstyle, but also for the fact that he's one of the rare Campion College alumni that plies his trade in the Jamaica Premier League.
Very rare. I'm trying to remember the last Campion man. Well, I know the last Campion man who was here and played with distinction would have been the ex-Arnott Gardens attacker. Tell you his name in short order. Kimani. Last name will come to me. I'm picturing him now. Eyes like yours. Very good player. People always said, what is this uptown boy doing in the jungle? Kimani Robinson, yes. Yes. Meanwhile, Fraser, lovely footwork from him. And cool head to get away from the challenges. Calvin, just wanted to drag it away from Mullings. Excellent tackle by Mullings. And now Ziminis on the run. Good pass to Guthrie. Oh. Ball handling skills loose there from Romeo Guthrie. It was a good pass.
I'll give him a little bit of grace because right there in that area of the pitch, reminder that to the viewing public that we are playing at Sabina Park, which is a venue hosted or that hosts cricket. So in the middle of the pitch where you see a couple of dark areas, that's where the cricket pitch is, and because of the rain that we had earlier, that middle of the pitch can be a bit slippery.
Yeah, the dirt loose because there's no grass in those growing areas to hold it together. So his footing would not have been the surest. So yes, I agree with you that Guthrie was undone by the conditions there. Meanwhile, Leng, pick, stabs it away from him. Ziminis has Guthrie to his left, to his right. Still Ziminis going. He does well, felt the impact. And he was quick to take the tumble, Tariq Ziminis. Was running down a cul-de-sac. And still manages to get the free kick. Was chased by Calvin, the goal scorer. Cavalier's most potent threat on the field. Putting in a very good defensive shift and ensuring that Ziminis didn't have a free run forward. Change being lined up by Portmore United. They're getting number 31 ready. Junior Grizel. Meanwhile, Rousseau is going to try to measure this one onto the forehead of someone in a blue shirt. Two-man wall between him and the rest. Rousseau gives the hand signal. Whips it to the far post. Ooh, that was missed by Stephen Young. And Guthrie's muscled out of it. Good touch by Myers. Knight. Howell. King steps in front of Ziminis. Lost that duel. Never mind, Aubrey wins it. Portmore in transition. Here's Calvin. Not many white shirts forward. Aubrey trying to take it in his stride, but he didn't have the wheels. And in fairness, the touch was a bit heavy. Off balance. The Trini has certainly caught the eye this evening. Has been bright, has been inventive, has been brave. And his set-piece deliveries have been good.
Yeah, operating mainly from central areas in the second half. I think that's a clear ploy or a clear intention of Cavalier head coach Rudolph Speed to try and win this game on the transition.
Knight's first touch was loose. Ended up giving the ball away. Young says, I didn't touch him, ref. It was the slightest hindrance to Stein as he broke forward. And the change being made, Peck being withdrawn. So Clayton Peck comes out, number 5 for Portmore United. And number 31, Junior Grizel, comes in.
Cavalier also making a change.
So Aubrey's race is run. And look who's coming on. Dwayne Atkinson.
And he gets a touch immediately.
Yep. He jet-heeled Dwayne Atkinson in his first pass. Not quite so accurate. Portmore's freshman also messed up his first pass. Knight trying to hit Myers with this long pass. Almost worked out. Myers' attempted pass. Stein chasing this and wins possession. Shot by Atkinson. Kicked it into the ground.
Game growing increasingly more stretched.
Yes, which is the perfect time to bring Dwayne Atkinson on, eh?
Yep.
Powell didn't have a forward pass, so he went back to his goalkeeper, and Portmore build again. Guthrie in the middle of the pitch, checking his mirrors before he received the pass. Good sign. Zimenez can't steal in. King has had Zimenez in his pocket so far the second half as Cavalier break forward. Atkinson's touch. Mullins doing very well to defend him just now. Calvin. Calvin's turn and shot. Oh, off the crossbar! Russell was beaten. But his crossbar to his rescue. That was lovely from Jalmaro Calvin. The turn and the shot. Expertly done. And unlucky. Here they come once again. And it's part of Atkinson. Unselfishly. Off the line, it's stole. It's a goal. Cavaliers' persistence. Two men inside the Portmore goal on the floor. Between them, they couldn't keep it out. And the persistence of the men in white pay off. They have their noses in front. Cavalier 2, Portmore United 1.
I said that I was thinking that Cavalier wanted to win this game on the transition, but it was actually a lovely, incisive move that unlocked the door. Richard King again bursting forward, and Dwayne Atkinson unselfishly laying it on a plot, and it was actually a failed clearance.
Own goal.
Own goal. Unfortunate, yes. But for that incisive bit of play alone, I can't say that Cavalier don't deserve it.
Yeah, King was destined to score. But for the slip, it would have been a firmer shot that would have whistled into the back of the net. That said, he did connect. And as it rolled forward, Portmore United boys trying to keep it out, and in the end, the clearance ricocheted off a blue-shirted man. And Akeem Mullins, the unfortunate scorer of that own goal. Barnett trying to find Myers, but King across serenely. All action from Richard King in defense and in attack. Guthrie runs back and does brilliantly to dispossess the ball carrying Cavalier forward. Here he is once again, Guthrie. Knight. Myers has seen a lot of the ball for Portmore. Just hasn't been good enough on it so far this evening, in my view. Jimenez. Big chest. Atkinson strips him off it though. Grizel rather. Thwarted by Ling. Knight. Howell. Myers. Given too much to do. And he couldn't keep it in. What was unfortunate was Myers was going to run, but then he slipped. And Howell had to wait for him to rebalance. And then by the time the pass came, the pass was overcooked. They're trying to line up the changes.
And that has been pretty common, slipping across both of the games. And even though the rain has stopped for, can say, a couple of hours now, the pitch still quite damp.
Ling. Grizel has been energetic and climbing all over Adrian Reed there. and gets a yellow card for his trouble, Junior Grizel, for his over-enthusiastic approach to that passage of play. Well, in that instance, and Stephen Barnett fighting his corner, complaining, saying, ref, that was soft for a yellow card. And she will say perhaps that persistent fouling. That's what happens. Portmore lining up some changes. See here, grabs Reed. And yeah, I think that's a soft yellow card.
Yeah, especially seeing that he hasn't been on the park too long to accumulate fouls.
Stephen Knight fouled by Dwayne Atkinson. 65th minute. Cavalier coming from behind, and they lead 2-1. Mullings goes on a little run. Jimenez finds himself deep, but he's going to barrel his way through. Hard tackle there coming in from Fraser. And now Howell. Jimenez. Mullings. It's as if a switch of play is coming as Portmore line up 2 changes. Young. Again, on review of this game, whatever the outcome, Rudolph Austin will believe that Alvinus Myers hasn't given him enough from that wide position, despite the number of touches he's received. Stain has the run now from Atkinson from deep. Beg your pardon. Atkinson was actually waiting for that at the top of the 18. And here's Guthrie. Howell. Jimenez has been dropping deep the last few minutes. Perhaps on instruction, maybe just trying to find the ball. And here he is, exchanging passes with Guthrie. Still Jimenez. Goes for the shot! And may have kicked some turf in that execution. Easy in the end for goalkeeper Bartlett.
Can't fault him for trying. Tariq Jimenez has been trying to get involved at every juncture of this game.
Powell manhandles his man and wins possession, no foul. This is Grizel. Back to Knight. Young. Back to Knight. Portmore dominating possession, but Cavalier won't mind. They have the lead. And Portmore have to prompt the pace. Here's Howell. Forward to Jimenez. Grizel. Trying to find Myers with a pass that's too long. And ball behind for a goal kick gives Portmore a chance to make this triple substitution. Wouldn't be surprised if he's one of the men called today, Alvinus Myers. He's had better days in a Portmore United shirt. Referee not sanctioning the changes just yet. Well, yes, now Nerissa goes and steps forward. So number 19 out, number 33 in. So yes, Alvinus Myers, the first name, first number up, to be replaced by Zion Richards. Then number 17 out, Stephen Barnett. And number 18 coming in, Tej Bryan. And then number 7 coming out, Siegel Knight, for number 29. Number 29 is Nicole Gale. So Portmore setting themselves up for full assault over the final 20+ minutes of this game. Brazil has been busy since his entry. Gives the ball away there though. Howell. Zimenez. Richards. Zion Richards of Portmore. Zimenez. Howell. Can't find a pass, but doesn't give up position either. Still Howell. Richards once again for Portmore. Wants to go down the line. Defender not allowing him. Bad touch by Gale. Comes back to him. Zimenez now. Oh, that's an awful touch by Tariq Zimenez. Calvin. Very good by Jelmaro Calvin. Can Stain keep it in? Nope. You can download the SportsMax app on the Google Play Store or the App Store. Giving yourself a world of content to access. Cavalier giving the subs instruction to stretch the limber up. Ross Speed may try to protect this lead with the changes he makes, knowing that he still has the men on the park who can cause destruction for the Portmore United defense. Rousseau's long pass forward. And for a moment, threatening run there made by the man wearing number 18, one of the subs, Tej Bryan, rapidly closing down the Cavalier defenders. Zimenez asked to chase Leng. Leng knows he's coming, doesn't take any chances. Fraser forward to Calvin. Only keeps it in field for Mullings. Here they come once again, Portmore United. Howell takes charge. Guthrie. Bryan. Howell. Richards. Still Richards. Still, ooh, lost the dribble there at a crucial point. And Giovanni Leng goes down under the challenge. It's a free kick to Cavalier.
Yeah, he has looked bright since coming on. Zion Richards actually making his JPL debut in this game. The Canadian-born player. One of Portmore United's key additions this season. Exciting wide man.
Man down with cramp in the Cavalier box. I can see the players telling the physios, well, they're signaling to the bench that they won't be need for a change. Players take on some fluids for the final 18 or so minutes of the game. So Portmore United went in front through Tariq Zimenez. That lead lasted for 6 minutes before Jelmaro Calvin equalized with a fierce drive from inside the 6-yard box. Ball bouncing once and he spun and really fired it. There he is, the source of Cavalier's equalizer. And then Richard King's goal-bound effort, blocked on the line by Portmore, was only blocked to be diverted off one of their own players. So an own goal giving Cavalier the 2-1 lead. Mullings really ought to have taken that in his chest, but he was not to know that he was not under challenge. That's what communication is for. And he gives away a throw, and it really should be Portmore ball. Anyway, Cavalier lining up 2 changes. Number 18 is going to come in. And number 19 as well. Leng loses out for the moment. Leng couldn't set himself under that. Has played well. Man wearing number 21, Jaheim Fraser, has gotten through a lot of work. Another man down for Cavalier. Looks like Quayne Thompson. Maybe one of the 2 men to make way at this stage of the game. So the Cavalier changes are sanctioned. 2 Cavalier men down. One looks to be more serious than the other.
Yeah, we can come to the assumption that Quayne's evening is over.
.33 out. And the 18 in. Damani Miller in. The referee was going to ask if the referee was not going to intervene because it's a stroll off the park. And then number 19, Chad James, will come in. So we'll see what the Campion man can do at this level. So 23 off, 33 off, 18 on, 19 on.
There's Damani Miller. Represented Limehall last season in a relegation campaign.
James gets his first touches. Wins nothing but gets his foot on the leather. Well, do they make balls out of leather anymore? I don't think so.
Chad James represented Jamaica at under 20 level a couple of years ago.
So Mullings forward for Portmore United. To Howell. Young now wearing the captain's armband. Guthrie. Chad James gets in the way of Guthrie's pass. Takes a hard fall. Atkinson on the prowl. Gets away from 2. Slips it through to James. James's first touch is good. Oh, tried to make the pass. Russell got out there very, very quickly and intercepted Chad James's pass.
Yeah, it was actually a lovely bit of play from Dwayne Atkinson. First to escape with the ball. And then a cute little through pass through a couple of Portmore players. And he was trying to square it for Jalmaro Calvin to what could have been a sure goal. But Daniel Russell, quick off his line, quick to intervene. And the damage is only a corner kick.
Yep. Speaking of damage, Romain Guthrie seems to have hurt himself in that passage of play. And gets the treatment and will take the time to take on some fluids. Still early in the season, of course. That's the second match week, so players are going to be a bit crampy. Well, are going to be cramping. Here's Aubrey. Looks pleased with his evening's work.
One thing I can tell you, George, is that man right there, Kylie Aubrey, is Maria Ramarak's favorite player in the Jamaica Premier League.
For obvious reasons, eh? Here's Dwayne Atkinson. Good evening, Mariah. Guthrie's game is over, and number 27 has come out of Portmore. Shackwell Henry. Handball appeal, nothing doing, no signal from the assistant referee on this side. Grizel has been very lively since coming on. His pass though was short. And I think the throw is awarded in the wrong direction. Looked to have been a Portmore throw, but the officials say Cavalier. There's Henry replacing Guthrie, who had a decent outing. Romeo Guthrie had an assist, could have had 2. But his second half not as strong as his first half showing. Yellow card for Richard King for delaying the throw. Time wasting booking. Here's Brazil. It's a Portmore free kick.
Lot of breaks in play.
Just how Cavalier wanted.
Yep.
Brian. Richards. Chad James for company. Howell now. Trying to play the metronome rule to good effect for Portmore United. Cavalier throw on that far side. Penny for Austin's thoughts. Wonder how he believes his team can change this game and whether he believes he has the personnel in his squad on the pitch to do what's necessary. Pensive. Sometimes you can look at someone and see them thinking. Yeah, the case with Rodolphe Austin just now. Throw. Won by Zimenez, who's been everywhere in the second half, trying to get on the ball.
Hasn't quite gotten the level of opportunity that he did in the first half, however.
Yep. Atkinson sprinting away. Excellent tackle by Stephen Young. Had to be good, and it was. Oh, here come Cavalier. And Russell off his line quickly. Assessed the situation. Intervened. Howell. The strike deflected. Easy for Bartlett in the end. Portmore still showing some bite in their attack, and the new boys have been very enthusiastic, if nothing else. Not a smile on the Portmore bench, and why would there be? They're trailing, and this game is getting old. Here's Chad James bursting forward for Portmore United. Has Atkinson to find. Atkinson's run is matched by Mullings, and he ran it out into touch for a goal kick. Taken quickly. Gale for Portmore. Richards. Back to Gale. Howell,
who most certainly has the most touches of the football in this game so far.
Gale. Richards. Never takes the opportunity to go down the line, Richards. Wants to cut in early. And when you're attacking a fullback, you have to mix it up. Can't be predictable. So, which is why the defender, Fraser, always shows him down the line, because he knows he doesn't want to go there. Always wants to cut in. Good defending so far from the Cavalier man. That's him.
And I know we've said how Richard King has been a cut above the rest in this game so far, but James Fraser has put in a very, very solid shift as that right back, right wing back for Cavalier in this game.
For sure. King's long ball is long. James gets the header and needs some help. James's cross. Oh, it's good. Until Russell's interception. Very enterprising from the young man. Richards comes the other way for Portmore. Took too long on it, dawdled. Gale. Excellent interception, and Atkinson around his man and injects some space, some pace into proceeds. Nice curling cross. And it's acknowledged by Calvin, who just didn't quite have the thrust to get there. Richards takes a switch. Gale. Howell. Gale. James gets in the way. Rousseau from the back. Rousseau goes from distance. Gets some applause.
And those are the shots that Cavalier would want Portmore to take. They'd want that over and over and over again from Emilio Rousseau.
The app moment is the go-ahead goal in this game. Well, off the crossbar. And then ball slipped through to Atkins. The square is for King, who lost his footing but still got something on it. And then, unfortunately for Mullings, he was in the way. And the ball cannons off his thigh. Over the goal line. That's the app moment. That's the moment that Cavalier went in front. Oh, three players clashing, but they're young, they'll live. And they come forward, Portmore through. Howell! Blocked. Portmore getting a bit more frantic in their approach. Young. Big switch. Richards pushes his man over. Fraser, very clever. Knew the contact would come and ensure the referee saw him being manhandled. Or that's the view he wanted her to take, and it's the view she took.
And you're right that Portmore becoming much more frantic. Not many patterns of play when they go forward. Looking for the open option or the awkward pass sometimes. I think they need to be a bit more sporadic in their approach.
James has been a bundle of energy since he entered the fray. He threatened to shoot just now. Still James. James, can he get the stab? Oh, he was pushed over. The Cavalier fans are asking for a penalty, asking the question. Not strenuously, it must be said. But James has been very busy since he came on. All action, Chad James. Mullings getting the hurry up from the Portmore goalkeeper. Richards, will he go down the line this time? Yes, he is. Yes, he does. Shot! Oh, good save. Good. For a moment I thought that Vino Bartlett wasn't getting there. But he saw it all the way, dived the right way, and in the end it was an easy save for him.
Yeah, I think we just have a bad angle, because from our angle it looked as if it was a much more powerful shot than it was.
Yep.
And you were right, George, because the first time that Richards went line initially, it led to this, more space being opened up at the top of the box. Here's a Chad James incident again. Ingenuity from Dwayne Atkinson, and then strength from Emilio Rousseau.
So Mullings, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, here comes Portmore again.
Yeah. Gale. Zimenez. Howell. Back to Zimenez. Grisel. Grisel's low cross. Cut out at the first post by goalkeeper Bartlett. For those who know their horse racing, isn't it true that Vino Bartlett bears a strong resemblance to Shane Ellis? The multiple champion jockey. I think he does. Anyway, Portmore come forward. Richards. Playing as a left winger, but very right-footed, which is why he doesn't want to go down the line. Chad James had a very strong cameo for Cavalier, and he wins a throw there. Strong young man, very confident.
Very intelligent as well.
As a champion man, it's one of the assumptions you make, yeah? Which is a good thing, eh?
I can only assume.
Yes, sir. Calvin trying to play the reverse pass to James, but he lost out there. Still alive. And now Atkinson. Wriggling away from Grisel. Gives it back to him. Zimenez. Look how deep he is. Trying to get himself involved. Wins the throw. So 5 minutes left for Barnett, Stephen Barnett and his team to find the equalizer. And if they do it early, find the equalizer in the remaining time left, they perhaps start thinking about the winner. Richards. Fraser comes to confront him once again. These two have had a good battle down this near side. Richards. Bartlett will claim this all day. Yeah. And it's time for Lish to pick his man of the match.
And I've been harping on the praises for Richard King for majority of this game, and I feel very inclined to stick with him. But I have to give my flowers as well to Jaheim Fraser, who has put in a phenomenal shift at right back for Cavalier as well. But Richard King, the Cavalier captain and Jamaican international, is my pick. Instrumental in the go-ahead goal as well.
Yeah. Don't get any opposition from me. There's King, captain, leader, man of the match today. Austin will say that King played so well that Zimenez abandoned his central striking role because he couldn't win any of the duels with King. And he's gone elsewhere to try to pick up possession and try to get into the game. Does this game have a late twist? We'd appreciate it. Here comes Mullings. King wins it. Lovely layoff. Howell. He's not stopped trying for Portmore. Lost that duel though. Atkins is quicker than Young, and he plays it around the corner to James. James intelligently forward to Calvin. This is Calvin. Jalmara Calvin! Ooh, he misses. The chance was there for the taking. Chad James, an outstanding cameo, could have been crowned with an assist, perhaps should have been crowned with an assist. But Jalmara Calvin missing by inches.
One thing about Calvin, he loves to take his shots early, trying to catch the keeper off guard. That one was just wide.
Meanwhile, Richards for Portmore. Still Richards. Zimenez. Henry. Rousseau. Careful and measured. Gale to Richards. Richards can't shake his man. Excellent play by Dwayne Atkinson. Gale hurried up by Atkinson's presence. Finds Young. Simmons' touch was heavy from Grizel's pass, and now Cavalier come again. Pass forward isn't the best. Meet and drink for Mullings. Perhaps the last roll of the dice this for Portmore United. Zimenez. Here they come, Portmore. The cross stood up. Rousseau didn't make good contact. Off target. And perhaps that's it for Portmore United's chances of taking something from this game.
Yeah, they have tried, they have prodded away. But Cavalier, they've stood up firm on many occasions. And I think on the balance of play, on the balance of the chances as well, hard to argue with this result.
And on cue, Odette Hamilton calls proceedings to a halt. We've seen 3 goals in the game. 2 scored by Portmore, but guess what? They're the losing team because one of those 2 was an own goal. Tariq Zimenez opened the scoring. Jalmara Calvin, there he is. He equalized. And in the end, it took an own goal from Mullings to separate the teams. Cavalier winning their first game of the season. Portmore still looking for their first win. Winless from 2. Beaten by Mount Pleasant last week. And beaten by Cavalier this evening. Final score from Sabina Park. Portmore United 1. Cavalier 2. So first half highlights, well, full match highlights. Russell missed that one, but then Howell, who had a good game for Portmore, cleared off the line. His goalkeeper didn't cover himself in glory there. And then this was the game's opening goal. Seagull Knights pass forward. Romeo Guthrie one touch, sets Tariq Zimenez sprinting forward. And he beats Vigna Bartlett to the goalkeeper's right. Low strike. Perfect placement. Firm finish. Firm strike. And then the somersault to show his agility. And then look at the Trinidadian, Auvray, probing for an opening, finds one pass, over the top, Mullings weak in the challenge, and Jalmara Calvin, quick as a flash, spins and hammers it beyond Russell's attempt to keep the strike out. But just rolled to the defender there, Jalmara Calvin. And look at the patience of Auvray, constantly looking for where the pass should go. And when a defender is not firm in the challenge in the box, then more often than not, the striker will get a chance to strike at goal. Guthrie sends him in his free once again, not approaching this in the same decisive way he did the first opportunity. And the chance goes begging because Bartlett quickly getting his big frame in the way off his chest. Barnett once again, second half. This pass forward to Peck. Bartlett saving with his legs. His defenders were covering behind him though. And then this moment, Calvin, back heel, through the defender's legs. Auvray, off the left foot, curling, going for the top right-hand corner. Didn't get enough. And then Calvin, look at this turn and this shot. Ooh, almost as if the shot was traveling in slow motion at one point there. But Jalmara Calvin demonstrating how deadly he can be. And then look at King running forward just the same. Atkins is unselfish, trying to find his captain who slipped, but still got something on it. And then as the ball dribbled forward, the clearance attempted. And it came back off poor old Mullings. And that's how Cavalier went in front. Late in the contest, Richards trying to twist Fraser in knots. It came and fired by Mullings. Didn't get much on it. When it left his foot, it looked for a moment as if it was going to trouble Bartlett. And then Calvin sent through by Chad James, the second half substitute, sending the top striker for Cavalier forward. And his shot rose agonizingly wide. Bartlett, well, Russell getting his angles right there, making it difficult for Calvin to finish, although you still expect a player of his quality to hit the target from there. 8 attempts by Portmore, 6 on target. Only 1 attempt on target for Cavalier. Yet they have 2 goals to their name and the 3 points. 18 fouls overall, 12 committed by Portmore. 3 yellow cards in the contest, 2 for Portmore United. And Portmore United had 62% possession at halftime. They finished with 60% overall, but they go home with nothing. Cavalier take all 3 points. Liz has our post-game interviews.
Yeah, I'm here with tonight's man of the match, Richard King. It's not often that we give a defender man of the match when he doesn't get a clean sheet, but such was your dominance over proceedings tonight. Great start to the season, yeah?
Yeah, it's a good start, even though we can't see the goal, but the main thing is we get the win, and we're good with that.
And you've been a part of a couple title-winning squads. Your team looks strong tonight. They've looked strong for quite some time now. Confident that your team can go all the way yet again?
Well, we just have to take it each game at a time, and work hard, and yeah.
And your team also is very young. You know that that's the Cavalier way of doing things. You're still young yourself. What is your role in really guiding all of these young players with the experience that you have?
Well, it's just, working each day on the pitch, communication, focus, togetherness, and because me alone cannot do it, so it's a team. So, yeah.
Excellent performance tonight, Richard, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that was Richard King, Cavalier captain, reggae boy. He really showed his class tonight. He made it really difficult for this man's attackers. Coach Austin, you knew it would be a tough game, and it turned out to be so.
Yes, definitely. We had control in most parts of the game, but we gave up we conceded two simple goals, in my opinion.
And your team really prodded away. You brought on a lot of bright attackers, but they just couldn't get the decisive goal in the end.
Hey, that's where we have the problem. We need to do better in the final third. So we just have to keep working on that.
Obviously, you're playing the 2 finalists from last season. I can only assume it's only going to get easier from here. What are your thoughts like going into the rest of the season?
Well, nothing is given in football. You have to earn it. Nothing is easy. No game will be easy. When you win 7 titles, no game will be easy for you. And if we think we're gonna sit and these teams gonna roll over and let us beat them, then we're making a sad mistake. So we just have to go and we have to fix this real quick.
All right, thanks, Coach. All the best for the rest of the season.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, that was Rudolph Austin, head coach of Portmore United, and we move on to Coach Rudolph Speed, head coach of Cavalier. And Coach, it was a tough game. You knew it would be, but the team got the win in the end, so that's what you often do.
Oh yeah, they did the double on us last year, so we were very wary of them. Even some games that we thought we should have done better, they won. So it's a good feeling to finally get a victory over Portmore. Very good team.
And your team showed a lot of variety tonight. You changed up your approach several times throughout the game. What was the thought process behind that? What were you trying to exploit?
We're still working on it, so you don't see the best of it yet. But what we are doing is trying to be able to score different ways. If today was really all team effort, not the individual. So we're working on it. It's not there yet, but that don't mean the other style that we have is gone. We'll be trying to use both. We definitely have a tally of goals that we set ourselves to score this year, so we're working on it.
I know you said you wanted to talk about the team, but when we're speaking about players, we spoke about players that you lost. One player that you kept was Richard King, and he was superb tonight leading your team.
Oh, definitely. I think he's relishing being the captain because this is the first time he has been the captain playing for us. I think this is his 5th year, so I think he's relishing that role and responsibility.
All right, excellent performance tonight from your team, Coach, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
All right, so the results from match week 2, the first phase, Malines United falling 3-1 to Veer United, Humberland and Tivoli Gardens at 0-0. Racing United beating Dunbeholden 1-0. Cavalier beating Portmore 2-1. And Mobile United Harbourview, that game to come. The two postponed games, Mount Pleasant Waterhouse and Chapelton Maroons versus Arnott Gardens. Those two games will be rescheduled. So Sabina Park saw 2 games today. We got 4 goals in the first one, and we got 3 in the second. So 4 and 3, 7 all told for the fans who came out today. Not a bad Sunday evening's work. So 2 goals for Cavalier in their first game of the season, beating Portmore United 2-1, and the defending champions up and running in the Ray and Navy Jamaica Premier League season 24-25. On behalf of the broadcast team, SportsMax, saying good evening.